What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Vault. My name is Money, and today we are going to be looking back at the insane year that was 2020. There was a lot of stuff that got delayed, or was moved, or just canceled altogether, but Funko still managed to release a bunch of awesome stuff that I added to my personal collection. And I thought it would just be a really fun thing for me to show you guys my top 10 favorite Funko Pops that were released this year. And before we get into it, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. It helps the channel grow and it helps me make more content for you guys. And without any further ado, let's start with just a couple honorary mentions that just fell short of the top 10 list. So the first two runners-up we have here, and it pains me to call them runners-up, are Johnny Bravo and Dexter from Dexter's Lab. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Money, what are you, fucking stupid? You're putting these two as runners-up on your list? These are awesome pops, and I agree. And these are two cartoons that I loved while I was growing up. But I have a stack over here on my top 10, and I couldn't put these in there. I couldn't take anything from the top 10 and move it to an honorable mention other than these two. So I decided that they had to go. So honorable mention for Dexter and Johnny here. And don't get me wrong, they're awesome pops. I love them, and they're going to be permanent staples here in my collection. And the only reason that they didn't fall on the top 10 list is because I have 10 other things over here that I just love so much, and I just couldn't take them off of the list. So these guys unfortunately got bumped down to honorable mentions. So coming in at number 10, we have a pop that you're probably going to think to yourself, you like this more than Johnny Bravo and Dexter? Let me just explain myself. Coming in at number 10, we have God Emperor Dr. Doom from Emerald City Comic Con 2020. And yes, this is my 10th most favorite pop from 2020. Number one, I have extremely fond memories of Emerald City Comic Con, so I have a lot of personal attachment to this pop. I was supposed to go out to Emerald City Comic Con this year with one of my friends, but that trip got canceled, of course, because of the virus. But I actually won the Funko lottery, and I was able to go online and check out with a whole mess of exclusives. I got pretty much one of everything and sent this to my friend, this to another friend, this to another friend. But there were several that I kept for myself, and this was one of them. There's just something about the detail on this mask and pairing it with that white outfit. I don't know. It just looks so good in my opinion. I love the pose. He's so menacing. Dr. Doom is one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time, and I'll never forgive the first two Fantastic Four movies for butchering the character. I guess I should say all three Fantastic Four movies, because that reboot with Michael B. Jordan, it didn't do anything for me. Coming in at number 9 on my list is a very recent exclusive, and this was shared with FYE. We have Scranton, What the Electric City, the Scranton Boys 2-pack from The Office. And surprisingly, this is the only Office item on my top 10 list this year. Last year, I had a couple Office pops on the list, but there was just something about the exclusives and the commons this year that just didn't really do anything for me. This 2-pack comes in at number 9 because the detail on these pops is outstanding. Even down to the detail on Michael's shirt where it says Scranton on it. This is just such... a lot of thought went into this, and with the amount of lazy Office variants that Funko is doing, it's refreshing to see them do something as creative as this 2-pack. I love that whole, Stanford branch is coming to Scranton, and they're kind of mixing together, and you have these, clashing personalities. It's one of my favorite episodes. Coming in at number 8, we have another Marvel pop, except this time it's from the MCU. We have the I Am Iron Man from Avengers Endgame. The I Am Iron Man. That doesn't sound right. We have Iron Man, I Am Iron Man with the Infinity Stones where he's kneeling. Finally, they gave us a freaking movie-accurate pop. So for those of you who may not know, last year for New York Comic Con, they gave us this Tony with the stones, and he doesn't stand with the stones ever. This never happens. But this is just one of my favorite pops from my Endgame set, probably in my top 3 altogether. And in terms of pops that were released this year, I think it does deserve a spot on this list because of how influential Iron Man was on the MCU, and because of how influential this scene will be on the future of the MCU. Getting rid of Thanos, Iron Man unfortunately dying, and passing the torch onto Spider-Man. It's going to be super interesting to see what happens with the MCU whenever movie theaters can't reopen up again. This pop lands as number 8 on this list because of the awesome sculpt, the attention to detail, and because I just think it's a freaking awesome pop. Coming in at number 7 on the list, we have a pop from New York Comic Con this year, and that is Mermaid Man. So this was one that was rumored for San Diego Comic Con, but it got canceled because of the virus and postponed to New York Comic Con. And honestly, it was well worth the wait. This pop is vibrant with color. It's in a super awesome pose, and it looks just like Mermaid Man. You can't say the same for Barnacle Boy. Stay tuned for my least favorite pops of the year, because Barnacle Boy may be on that list, but Mermaid Man definitely deserves a spot here on my top 10. So I love SpongeBob, one of my favorite shows growing up, and I thought it was such a crime that they only gave us, I don't know, 5 characters back in like, what, 2014, 2015 or so. I love that I was able to get the official Comic-Con sticker on it. Of course, when you ordered online for New York Comic Con, it was completely random what you got. I was very lucky and was able to check out with this, and I was even luckier because I got one with the con sticker. So you pair how much I love SpongeBob with the incredible sculpt and attention to detail on this thing. That's why I rank this guy as my 7th favorite pop of 2020. Coming in at number 6 on my top 10 list, we have Obelisk the Tormentor from Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, this thing was a freaking nightmare to get my hands on. I had a pre-order at GameStop along with the rest of the commons, and they sent all the commons, and then they didn't send this guy. About 3 or 4 weeks later, in the middle of like the stay-at-home order during quarantine, this guy showed up in a box that was like, I don't know, this big, and the front of the box was just all smashed up. The figure inside was broken. Everything was all jacked up on it. So I posted about it, and very luckily, one of my homies in the Funko Collector Society, Samaj the Disciple, sent me his box because he collects Yu-Gi-Oh! Out of box. And of course, when anybody sends me anything, I always keep the stickers inside the box with it, because now this has sentimental value to me. Not only is it an awesome pop for one of my favorite animes and one of my favorite card games, now it is a permanent part of my collection that a friend has assisted me with. So, Samaj, you're the man. You know that. Thank you so much for the help with this. Number 5 on my top 10 list goes to another 6-inch pop from Yu-Gi-Oh! And that is Exodia the Forbidden One. Now, this is one that GameStop sent me in pretty good condition. Can't complain. Didn't come shattered like that freaking Obelisk I just showed you guys. This is one of the best pops of the year, and I do like it more than Obelisk by a very small margin. Mostly because, as awesome as Obelisk is, I have more of like a nostalgic connection to Exodia, I guess I should say. Of course, he's one of the hallmark cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! Putting them all together to create Exodia the Forbidden One. I always thought that it would have been cool for them to have done like a 10-inch Exodia and like have all of the 5 pieces be like GameStop, Hot Topic, Best Buy, Walmart, maybe Target. You know what I mean? Like, have to go hunt for the different pieces, and then maybe you could like snap them all together, for example. But this definitely gets the job done. The detail on him is so freaking great, and honestly, it just looks like Exodia. It doesn't look like a pop figure, which is why I think I love it so much. So coming in at number 4 on my top 10 pops of 2020, we have, you should be able to put this together, Slifer the Sky Dragon, again from Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! As you can tell. Got all the commons behind me, and I'm hoping they do more Yu-Gi-Oh! Pops in the future. But even if they didn't, this guy is more than enough for me. Slifer was my favorite Egyptian god card when I was younger. It was one that I always loved watching in the anime, one I loved making like stupid decks that, of course, were not balanced or were not good for the meta. But if you own this, you need to take it out of the box and just really appreciate the detail on it, because it's just such a freaking hefty boy, and I love it. And I couldn't have gotten this without the help of my friend Brian over at Paparazzi. Between all the things I got going on and the quarantine and all that kind of stuff, I was not able to find this guy at any of my local Targets. Brian out in California was able to find it, and he sent it to me. So Brian, thank you so much again for the assist on this guy, and it means so much to me because a friend helped me out with it. I can hear the comments now. Money, would you please shut the fuck up about Yu-Gi-Oh! Number 3 on this list goes to Yami Merrick, again from Yu-Gi-Oh! I know, guys, I'm sorry. These pops are just so freaking good. This whole set is awesome, and it took every ounce of energy not to put Red Eyes Black Dragon on this list. But I said, you know, it's too much Yu-Gi-Oh! It's cool, but it's not like top 10 worthy. Yami Merrick here is one of the, if not the, most detailed pops of 2020. His dual disc is completely colored. The cards are so freaking intricate. The symbol on his head and the heftiness to his face and his hair is just so freaking amazing. The pop is absolutely incredible. I cannot talk highly about this thing. And if the other 2 pops in my top 10 list ahead of it weren't things that, like, you'll get it when I show you guys, this guy would honestly be number 1 because of how freaking intricate the detail is on it. All right, guys, we're down to our last 2 pops of 2020, and these might even be 2 of my favorite pops in my entire collection. Number 2 is the Funko Shop exclusive Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. And I can't believe that I'm living in a timeline where I'm like, hey, here's a new Parks and Rec pop that just came out. That is what is crazy. This is such a funny scene from when the gang go to the Snake Hole Lounge and they're celebrating and they all are just so drunk off of the snake juice and Ron just is dancing to some song with Janet Snakehole's little hat on her. Such a freaking funny scene, and it's just so niche, and I can't believe that they turned it into a pop. I really do appreciate this nicheness to this moment. Do I wish it was a different character? Of course I do, but I will not complain because I love Parks and Rec. I love Ron Swanson, and I am just ecstatic that this could potentially mean more Parks and Rec pops going forward. This was produced in October of this year, so maybe they made another set of commons. Maybe we'll get another exclusive for Emerald City or San Diego. I'm really hopeful. And the pop that is not only my favorite of the year, but one that I had been asking for years is Gotta Catch 'Em All 'Cause He's Danny Phantom. I mean, I asked for Danny Phantom pops last year, and then guess what? New York Comic Con, here he is. I cannot believe this, and it is just such an awesome sculpt. I can't even believe it. So here's the thing about this Danny Phantom pop, right? It's Danny Phantom in the ghost state, and his tail is transparent. He has the green energy blast on his hand. His eyes are green. The only way that I could see them improving on this pop is if he was like glow in the dark, like if his eyes glowed in the dark or his hair or something. But why would I nitpick my favorite pop of the year? I really couldn't. And if you haven't noticed, this has the official Comic-Con sticker just like Mermaid Man. Somebody who I'm a friend with messaged me and said, hey, I was able to get Danny Phantom from the lottery and I don't want it. If you shoot me the retail price, I'll send you the con sticker one. That person has chosen to stay anonymous. They do not want their identity to be revealed, so I am totally respecting that. But if you are watching this video, this is me thanking you again for this awesome pop with the official Comic-Con sticker, because if it's my favorite pop of the year, I may as well go all the way out and get the official Comic-Con sticker on it. So I got the official Comic-Con sticker. The sculpt and the detail are absolutely astonishing, and that is why Danny Phantom lands itself at my absolute #1 favorite Funko Pop of 2020. And I just slammed him into a Teen Titan pop down here. I just went bam. And honestly, it was super tough for me to pick only 10 things, and that's why I had 2 runners up. I mean, there were some other things like the entire Pokemon set that I think deserved to be on there. This Spider-Man 2-pack from Entertainment Earth also I think deserved to be mentioned, but just ran out of room because there was so much awesome stuff announced this year. Funko was put in a tough position this year between the pandemic, Comic-Con's getting canceled, and their website not really being able to handle any traffic, but they still managed to release a bunch of awesome exclusives and plenty that I was able to grab, and I'm super stoked I was able to. So I'm super happy with my top 10 this year, and I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. What were your favorite pops of this year? Do we share any similarities? Did you pick up Danny Phantom, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pops, or maybe that Emerald City Comic-Con Doctor Doom? Or do we differ completely and you love something from DC or something from another anime that I'm not into? Make sure you guys drop me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite pops of this year were and why. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like down below. It helps this video get seen more. And if you guys want to see more videos just like this one, hit the subscribe button. I post pretty frequently and I'd love for you guys to stick around. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I absolutely appreciate the support. Don't forget to collect what you love, even when what you love is a very drunk Ron Swanson. And as always, guys, I'll see you soon.